Hey, Barbara, how are ya? I was just looking at the Synod website and found an area talking about the Synod networks. Have you seen that information? That idea looks really interesting.
Are you talking about the Synod video on the YouTube network?
No, but that's not a bad idea. I'm talking about the information on the website that describes the networks of people the Synod is offering to help folks create. They'd have similar interest, purpose, mission, ministry, could share their common interests together. The group can even send a representative to Synod assemblies and the Cultivate Committee. And there's some seed money available to help them get started. Later on, there's the possibility of more grant money, too.
Grant money, sign me up. What's it for and who's offering the grants?
Hey, Jeff, our Synod, the Synod of South Atlantic, through the Cultivate Committee, it's willing to help groups of people with similar interests from across at least two presbyteries form seedling network groups with some seed money to get started.
But you just said grants. Is that what you mean about helping to get started?
Well, let me back up a bit. The seedling networks, the beginning networks, get started and continue to work together with the help of some available seed money as approved by the Cultivate Committee. Some seedlings will grow into networks, some might not. But when the seedlings grow into full networks, the Cultivate Committee will let the Synod's Inspire Committee know. Then the networks can apply to the Inspire Committee to receive additional funding from the Synod.
What's all this about seeds and seedlings and mm, seed money? Are you guys planting a garden?
Maybe a garden that grows people, Jeff. Let
Oh,
me see if I understand it enough to explain. The Synod is encouraging groups of people with similar interests to gather together to share information, learn about a topic or idea, and work together to make ministry happen. A new way of collaborating across our connectional church. Is that right, Billy?
Yes, that's the basic idea. There could be networks coming together to plan a mission trip or to learn how to support seniors, maybe a group for CREs or creation care congregations, or folks with similar ethnic backgrounds. Lots of possibilities. Seedlings who continue to support ministry together across the Synod will be recognized by the Cultivate Committee as networks. We already have three networks, those formed by our former racial ethnic ministries: the African American Network, the Hispanic Network, and the Korean Network.
And we sure do have an African American network. And we're hard at work getting ready for our next African American clergy and educator retreat that's held annually at St. Simon's the second week in September. And everybody's welcome to come. And then we have been supportive of the National Black Presbyterian Caucus, especially the Southeast Regional event, which is usually held, I think it's like the last weekend in July every other year. So we host African American congregations and pastors and educators and their families from across the entire Synod. And we have very strong connections with the self-development of people. And around the table, those are two denominational offices who undergird all of the good work that we get to do together in our network.
wow, that sounds really good, Cece. Billy, what do you need to do to start a seedling that might become a network? Do I have to gather a bunch of people from across the Synod?
Oh no, Jeff, you just need to know one other person in one other of the Synod's 16 presbyteries who also wants to learn more about a topic or shares a mutual interest with you. You might find those people if you talk to folks in your congregation or the presbytery, or maybe searched online through established chat groups.
I bet what you really could do
Mm.
is ask our Senate exec and stated clerk, Elder Valerie Young, about people who have been part of SAC lunch gatherings, the South Atlantic Community Knowledge Zoom chats. They're called SAC. And those are the places where people have expressed similar interests. You could always suggest your topic for a SAC lunch gathering to Valerie, or that might draw people to the conversation with you. And then you'll just need to actually show up for the SAC lunch, of course.
That's true. And when those groups get their plans together, they can apply to the Cultivate Committee and become a seedling network. And then they can invite others from across the Synod to join you. The Cultivate Committee would be happy to give a seedling group some money to help a speaker come to gather more people into your group via Zoom. The Synod's website and its other social media resources can help with that. And seeding groups could probably be advertised through the presbyteries as well.
I've been part of those sack lunches and they're great. I've been amazed by the topics we talk about and how it brings people from all across the synod to it.
Guys, while you were talking, I went to the Synod website and found the information. It's right there on the landing page. A caption says, Nurturing New Growth, Funding for Seedlings, with a picture of a bunch of, what else? Seedlings. Then there's a nice blue apply here link that takes you to the application form, which asks for some basic information about the group being formed. Things like the group's name, contact people, the vision and goals, meeting plans, and a place to request seed money. And of course, to attach a budget. Then you submit it. Looks pretty easy to me. I wonder if there are people who would like to learn more about establishing an after school program to help kids with their homework. Those latchkey kids whose parents aren't home until later.
Well, I know lots of people who wanted to help with disaster recovery in various places in the Southeast last spring, but I didn't know how to help. Florida Presbyterians have such a group, but Georgia and South Carolina don't. Do you think that there are people in a couple of those presbyteries who might be interested in that kind of ministry together?
Sure.
I'm
Sure,
sure
I
there
think
would
we'd probably
be.
find
Think so.
people. Yeah. I read about this church out in Naples recently that has a Cuban partnership with the church there in Cuba. And to me, that's really amazing because I can't even think about where I would start with that. My church has a great drive to do it, but just getting everybody to really figure out how to get it started would just be too much. But I think asking someone to maybe come and help us understand that, and I would think that there'd be other churches like ours that would love to partner together and really get something new started for us. And I bet I could find people even through the Synod social media channels.
Those are all great ideas for seedlings. Now, which one of you is going to be the very first one to gather some folks and fill out that application form to get things started?
I think I want
I will.
clergy.
I'll get on that.
Yep.
Okay, that
I
sounds
can
like
get on
great.
board.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank y'all.